Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've done a van video, but I wanted to show the electrical system today. I have to do a little bit more work to get it all set and rewired. It's now July and I've had the battery inside over the winter but brought it back out, and let me show you what I've got going on. So I still don't have a driveway, but I have an idea on how to finish up all of this wiring here, and thought it would be a good idea to show it from the beginning to the end. So I'll come back to these components here in the cabin, but here under the hood, this is where it all starts. So in order to connect the deep cycle house battery that powers all the things inside, I need to tie it to the car battery, which is tied to the alternator itself. So the way it works is when I have the car running, it will automatically charge up my battery, and when I don't have the car running, it doesn't drain the battery. I'll show you the components there. But here I've used 4-gauge wire. I'm pretty sure I'll link it. I think I bought 15 feet of it, maybe more. And I have also added a fuse that is spec'd to the right size wire. Pretty easy. It's just with screwdriver. You crimp it down really well, and that's how you install it. I have it here dangling a little bit. Hasn't been a problem. It's been about like 5 or 6 months. And the rest of the wiring is secured with zip ties all the way across and then in. So this was the trickier part, to get it from underneath the hood into the cabin. And the path that I decided to go through was underneath and through here. You can see because I'm missing the little boot, so wires come through here, and then this is the spot where I found where I could drill through. So I made this hole and then protect it with electrical tape and more plastic sheeting, because that is the easiest path inside of the cabin, right through and in here. And this side is protected too. It's a little bit right there, see? So outside, inside, I just made like a big hole. And then obviously filed it and protected it so that it wouldn't be an issue. So then once my wire's inside, I ran it through and up. From here over down to here. And all the way down. And then out. Drilled a little hole here. Out and over to where I've decided where I want all my electrical. So I made a box. That's usually when I did live in here. I had my plastic bin of clothes over there. So we're gonna have to share space between the two things. Literally, as I was explaining and talking, I decided that maybe I don't like where the box is. So now I'm rethinking it a little bit. Because when I used to live here, my box of clothes went there, and that was super convenient. Clothes can go behind. I gotta think about it a little bit more. I'm not sure. Okay, so I am exhibiting an example of building the plane as I'm flying it, because this is both trying to show you everything that I've done, plus trying to do the next step. So I brought my bin of clothes back down so that I could tell what's going on. And I think this will work, because instead of having my clothes be here like I had it before while I lived here, I think this also makes sense. This can just move out of the way as I need it to. If I am spending the day somewhere and I need to get in and out of the van a lot, if I get groceries, if I get whatever, it's more important that I can move whatever's here, as opposed to having this electrical stuff up here, and then it'll be in the way of the seats. It'll be just boxy and bulky. So I like this. So that's what we're gonna stick with. This can always just like move to the back there, easy enough. So that's what we're gonna do. Plus, also, I like the electrical box here because all of the indicators will be, one, not in the way as I'm moving in and out, and two, the lights will be visible, and if I ever need to troubleshoot, everything is there. So construction of the box really quickly. I should have made it a little wider, but I was rushing a little bit, and now it's like super snug. But I made it work, and this is like iteration 1, so I don't really care. I have extra pieces. I can secure it more if I want. It's really not going anywhere. I'm not worried about it. I ended up using 1/2-inch plywood and pocket hole screws, pocket hole, yeah, jig screws, 4 on top, I think 4 or 5 on the bottom, and I have a divider piece here because I already know from living here that 1 12-volt battery doesn't quite give me enough juice for all of my electrical needs. The lights are no problem, lights take nothing. The fan's no problem, but the refrigerator on hot days, it's gonna drain the battery too much. So I made this box so that it will have a second component here. When I buy a new battery, it will slot right into there. And then what I will do is just drill holes through the wood and then connect it electrically. But for now, it works. And now that I've decided my box is happy there, my box is happy here, I now have to crimp some new wires to the right lengths, because this is all the slack that I had because I didn't want to waste anything. So, and then really secure everything, because right now everything's like kind of prototypey, and I've lived that way for long enough. So let's fix this up. Okay, so I'm taking pliers and using the cut edge to make a clean cut on the wires exactly where I need it. Give it a good squeeze, and you want it to be a sharp, straight cut. So later on when I use the wire strippers, I will get it ready for a good connection with the crimped connector ring thing. And then just take the screwdriver and unhook them so that I can bring them upstairs. Alright, let's go upstairs and cramp! So 8 gauge copper connectors, best for corrosion, best for like reliability down the road. These guys are okay too, and so with my fan and my lights and my fridge, I went with, what are you, so I don't lie again, 16 gauge wire. And this kit does 16, 14, 10, 12, etc. And I made it work with it for some of these 8 gauge connections. Even though it's not recommended, I think that will last. So I'm going to leave that like that. I do have 3 left, and I cut 3 wires, and that's what I need. I'm going to crimp it with my vise block. That's going to give me the most force that I need. And then I'm going to use my heat gun with the shrink wrap guy and seal it like so. And then you'll end up with something like this. Look at me trying so hard. So I'm really just yanking on it as much as possible, and then once I get it to a good spot, I'm using a small pry bar to further drop my phone, and then crimp it as much as I can. So I upgraded my crimping station a little bit. See how that turned out. You really do want a pretty good crimp, because you don't want to have to go back and figure out where you have an issue. I'm scared to do a little pull test on it. You should be able to yank on it and it won't come out. It's decent. And you can also go somewhere to have it go to a crimper. Maybe some auto stores might do crimping, I'm not sure. But figure something out where you're confident about the crimping. Okay, so this part's kind of fun too. I am using a pretty basic heat gun from Harbor Freight. It has a high and low setting. I'm using the high setting. Really just try to keep the heat gun about 4 to 5 inches away and watch as it shrinks and the glue squeezes out on both sides, and then you're good to go. Everything is actually all connected. After I crimped them, I brought them down here, hit them away. I'm measuring like 12.7 something volts. Like I said, I'll get a display thing and drill the hole right there because that's where I need it to be. Can't be too close to the bottom. I think that looks a little neater. Then I swap these wires from this side to this side. Just tested the fridge, it works. It will beep if I were to put this fuse over here. I'm not using the van right now, so I'm not gonna let it just keep running for no reason, but fridge works. The fan I have to troubleshoot. That's what I have to do next. For some reason it just keeps beeping. It'll be like 5 seconds after it turns on, and then it'll beep and then it'll turn off, and I have not figured that out yet. Don't know if it's defective, don't know if I somehow broke it somehow, don't know. Lights work. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, kind of like there's like the faintest of blue light. I put a switch over there. I'll go over there and show you. Everything's wired up now. I added some washers so that everything is secure and it won't slide around, move around. Honestly, the wood on carpet does pretty well and won't go anywhere. And yeah, let me come on over here. See the light. Light works. It's on a dimmer. It'll dim, 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 and then if I press it again, it will turn off. This guy is just a little 4-wire switch. So this is electricity to the lights, and then electricity from the battery. And that's it. And I have to kind of do the same thing to the fan. I didn't plan to, but there was just a spot where the wires melted a little bit from when I had the short issue. So I'm gonna try to crimp it just like I did before and try to get the fan working, but I might just stop here too because I don't know, it's a nice day. I don't feel like working on this anymore. I've gotten pretty far, and then when you take breaks sometimes is when you think of things that you cannot remember. I mean, cannot figure out. Yeah, I think I also want to show the DC charger, but let me just take a break real quick and then come back to it. After a quick hiatus, you see me back here in the van. I am stripping the fan wires, both the input and the outputs, both two connections to get ready for some quick disconnect connectors. So use your razor knife. You want to get it out of the white protective cable thing, and then take your wire strippers. Use the right size, so it'll say on there like 14, 16. Use the right size, carefully strip just the plastic and not any of the metal, and then you'll be ready to go. Of course, I had to break down my newly bolted down vice block setup for good crimps, but it's worth it. So we did, I already did these two. We're just about to finish those two. And there was a price to pay. Mosquitoes are out. I got 2 big fat mosquitoes. And then I'm going to crimp these 2. And then that will make all of the connections that I need. And remember, if you're using a vice block, not to squish the connector part, because that's what I did. Try to do this one where I had it set up with it squished down in the bottom, so that was no good. And then this was when I tried to hand crimp it, also no good. I had to move my car, I had to wire it from my house, and I quickly did the where'd it go? Those 2, these 2, and then these 2. So everything's done, but I am just like parked in the middle of the street. But you know, sometimes you just gotta. Alright, everything is wired up. And I'm like really scared because mosquitoes are out and about. And this thing won't stop beeping. And this is what will happen. Please be quiet, please be quiet. Basically that happens. I turn it on and within 10 seconds it will just beep like that. Okay, on, off, on. And even if I dial it all the way down, it's running. It's doing its thing. And then it's not doing it. I don't understand. Not doing it. Oh, it's doing it. And then it'll do that. And then it'll take like a minute for it to reset, but it won't stay on, and I don't know why. So that's the next thing to troubleshoot. But otherwise, everything is wired up and good to go. And that's extremely annoying. Okay, so really quickly to finish up the video, for electrical, battery from the car comes in and then it goes right to the DC charger. From the DC charger, what happens is this white wire is the D plus wire that will be tied to ignition, meaning if I turn the car on, my keys, turn the car on, light will come on, and then it will charge the battery. So if I didn't have the that wire in, so I'll even show you. So down here, I had to tap into the ignition switch. And this is like a lot of information all at once, I know, but you want to tap into the 7.5 volt amp IGN slot, and I use a few tap, and I think if I unplug it, the car will actually die. No, it won't die, which is good, but I think the car won't turn on. Oh, the car does die, see? So make sure to have your wire very secure so that that doesn't happen, because I imagine if you're going like at speed on the highway and then that gets unplugged, you will be in trouble. So that wire, though, I have it tucked in to the spot there, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and then right into there. And I'll probably cut this now that this is all set here and put it away. But that is it. I don't want to get bit by mosquitoes, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. Hope you're well. Bye.